time for movies on rock and roll football. It's Meet Me in the Foyer with Linda Marrick and Jawa.
Meet Me in the Foyer.
Thank you for making the effort to meet me in the foyer again this week, as we come from a land down under where beer does flow and men chunder. And joining us in this Australasian outpost, the queen of the kino, the maestro of the multiplex, Linda Marrick. How are you, Linda?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all. I should have said good day, Linda. How are you doing?
Good day, yes. Why are we saying good day? Sorry.
Well, we'll find out later. Don't worry about
that. You're not bringing us Crocodile Dundee, are you?
Oh, who can tell?
Okay.
You might have guessed it right out the box.
Okay, sorry. I apologize. You can remove that.
No.
I'm too clever for my own good.
But what are you bringing us this week?
I'll be bringing you a review of a small horror comedy set in Ireland called Hokum. And the Michael Jackson biopic. So one of those is likely to be very controversial. I'll let you guess which one.
Looking forward to both of those. And yes, as we said, I will bring you my classic movie review, your great Gillar, plus the movie news, and as always, the box office top 10. So grab a few tinnies, throw some shrimp on the barbie, act like good neighbours, and let's begin at the box office.
Meet Me in the Foyer.
So, the box office top 10, as it stands, as we record, starts with a film I'm going to struggle to pronounce. I'm going to say Bahuz Bangla. That's been out for 2 weeks. It's an Indian Hindi language comedy horror. And if you're wondering what that first word is, it's BHOOTH. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
BHOOTH. Okay.
At number 9, All My Sons, that's National Theatre Live. At number 8, BTS World Tour, which is still in the top 10, surprisingly. But number 7, a real film, and it's Time Hoppers, The Silk Road. And that's an animation that's been out for a week and has made £200,000 at the box.
Not seen it, not heard of it even, to be honest with you.
No, I hadn't either. I don't know what studio it's come from, but it's not one of the majors.
Is it Asian movie? Is it Chinese, perhaps?
It could well be. Above that, it's The Magic Faraway Tree. It's been out for a month now. It's made 13 million, and you can catch Linda's review on a previous episode. And above that, it's a re-release celebrating not an anniversary, in fact, because it's Akira that's been out for a week and has made just under £1 million. And I remember someone saying you have to see Akira at the box office, which I have at the box office. Sorry, you have to see Akira at the cinema, which I haven't done, but I might actually, because it's a mind-blowing film. I remember seeing it years ago, and yeah. Impressive animation.
Impressive that it's making $1 million, despite it not being an anniversary. Is it just a 4K restoration?
Yes, that's right, yeah. Because there was talk of it coming out a few years ago for to coincide with the Olympics in China, I think it was.
Japan,
yeah.
Possibly.
There was some Olympic tie-in. I remember them because it was predicted in the film, I think. Yeah. But anyway. Above that, perhaps surprisingly, it's Lee Cronin's The Mummy that's been out for a week and has made just under £1 million at number 4.
I am very surprised. But then again, look what it's got in front of it. So yeah, I am surprised actually. I thought that would do better.
Yeah. And you can catch Linda's review on last week's episode.
Having said that, I think it does have staying power, so I reckon it would still be there next week from it's word to mouth, and people will tell each other how scary it is, and But
yeah, we shall see. It might climb the charts. Because yes, as Linda said, the top 3 is unchanged from last week, meaning at number 3 it's the drama that's been out for 3 weeks and has made 8 million, and you can catch Linda's review on a previous show. Above that, it's Project Hail Mary, which has been out for 5 weeks and has made 30 million. And again, you can catch Linda's review on one of our previous episodes. And above that, it's Super Mario Galaxy Movie, still at number 1. It's made 33 million. And Unchanged.
There's a huge universe out there. With a lot of galaxies.
We gotta get everyone out of here! Go, go, go! Mamma mia.
I demand that you release my father.
Over my dead body.
Fine with me.
Your king has returned!
Long live the king!
The Bowser name shall be feared once more!
Oh no! Everyone calm down.
Toad, pack our things.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Oh, princess, you're going to regret that.
And Project Hail Mary is getting a longer stay at cinema, and the streaming dates have been pushed back because people are still wanting to sit in cinema, which fills me with joy, to be honest with you, because I never believe it when people say nobody wants to go to cinema to watch films. It's a lie. And it's fake news, and I don't believe in fake news.
Yeah, like I can't remember who it was. One of the execs said this week that streaming hasn't harmed cinemas. It's concessions prices. I mean, yes, concessions are expensive, but yeah, of course streaming's harmed cinemas. Of course they have. But yeah, so that's the box office top 10 for this week.
Meet me in the foyer.
Right, so it's review time, and hopefully this will be another excellent movie review from Linda. Not a trite, sentimental, cliched nonsense, but I have fears, as this film stars Adam Scott from Damian McCarthy, and seems to be a load of hokum. But let's find out.
Fado, long, long ago, deep in the woods, there lived an old kayak. A witch. One of the members of staff is missing.
What do they think happened to her?
Go home.
Well, you still look like your passport picture.
Demons do exist. It's just people with closed minds. Can't see him. Long, long ago.
Who's there?
What's happening?
Get me out of here!
Long, long ago. There lived a witch.
I Linda.
I really love Adam Scott. I think he's fabulous, and he's like so. This is a really small movie. In actual fact, it's not coming out this week; it's coming out next week. So but I did have a chance of watching it in advance, which is always a good thing. It is. It's kind of like a mixture between sort of a folk horror and a comedy horror. It's you can really tell from the beginning that it's made on a shoestring, which is great. So whatever it does, it's likely to be making money. So we don't really mind films like that not being like completely sort of perfectly made. But this is actually, I think it has a really, really strong cast list, but it also has a really strong script, and we that's what we like to see. So Adam Scott, if those who don't know him, I mean, he's been all sorts of things. So I think more recently people have known him from Severance, and I think this has been like his breakout and the role of his life really in Severance, where he plays Mark Scout. He's the main role in the series. In Hokum, he plays a taciturn, a really moody, not very nice writer of historical novels that are also a bit supernatural. And he's both his parents are dead, and he's got their urns. So he's just finished writing his last in a series of books about this conquistador in the conquistador era, and has a really grim ending, really horrible ending. He's finished writing it, about to send it off, but he hasn't sent it yet. So he decides to take the ashes of his parents and travel to Ireland, to this really isolated little hotel where they apparently spent their honeymoon. And so he decides that the best thing to do for him is there's a photo of his mum leaning over this absolutely massive tree in the woods near the hotel, and he wants to spread their ashes, both of them. So when he arrives there is you instantly get like a feeling that things are happening in town. There are things about the area that aren't natural. The first thing that he observes is that he's in this car. He arrives at the hotel, and someone has basically shot a goat, and the goat is sitting there dead in front of the hotel. And he's like, "Why did you kill it?" And he says, "Oh, because they jump on the cars." And he goes, "Well, can't you just shoo it?" And then so you get the sense that there is a lot of knowing comedy with it. It's a film that knows its like audience inside out, and a lot of horror audience really loves a bit of comedy as well. So meanwhile, as he gets there, he's just very angry at the world. He's not happy with anything. He's not happy with his life. He's been writing these really depressing books for a very long time. But he's recognized by a few people in the hotel, mostly by a busboy to whom he's not very nice, played by Will O'Connell, and then sorry, and not waitress, sorry, a young woman who works there. So during his stay, he's managed to upset pretty much everyone and anyone. He's been rude to anyone and everyone. But then when he decides he's getting very drunk at the bar, and then he's told, "We're cutting you off." He goes off to his room. When he goes off to his room, about 10 minutes later, the young woman who was looking after him in the hotel goes and knocks on his door, and he's attempted to kill himself. He's basically hanged himself. So she cuts him off. They send him to the hospital. He goes to the hospital, wakes up a few days later, not knowing where he is. And there's throughout all of this, there's like this kind of like some kind of story about the honeymoon suite being haunted by this medieval witch who, if you spend the night there, might take you down and take you all the way down to the underneath the hotel. Nobody will ever see you again. And he doesn't really believe them. That's believe in it. First thing he says is, "Oh, Hokum," this is all nonsense. I really like this. It's directed by Damian McCarthy, as I said, and it's written by. It's written also by Damian McCarthy. Adam Scott, I think he's also executive producer in this, and he is like the heart of the film. And if you don't like Adam Scott, you're not going to like this because he's in almost every scene. After he leaves the hospital and goes back to the hotel, he learns that the hotel is closing for the season, and therefore he's being kicked out. And he was only supposed to be there for 6 days or a whole week, and he spent most of that time in a hospital recovering from his attempted suicide. He is told to, basically bugger up, and then he says, "Who cut me off?" And he's been told that it's this young woman who's been looking after him, and he says, "Well, where is she? I'd like to thank her for saving my life." And they say, well, "Unfortunately, we don't know where she is. Actually, I think her name is Fiona." "Oh, we don't know where she is. She's disappeared. She disappeared 5 days ago. Nobody can see her." There's a weirdo who sort of a woods dweller called Jerry, who entices him to sort of drink with him or have some mushrooms. And he says, "If you take mushrooms from this wood, you'll see things how they really are in life, and it will open up your eye about what goes on in this area." So the whole thing is really it's sort of your usual folklore, but horror folklore, but at the same time there's this added sort of American acerbic sort of heinous kind of behavior from him. It's all about learning your lessons and learning who the people around you are and learning to appreciate what you had. And it's quite scary in parts, and it's quite, bloody in parts, but I just thought it was really, really funny and really fun. And there were moments where I had to close my eyes, but all in all, it's not super, super scary. It's more like creepy. Yeah, I liked it. Go see it. That does not come out till the week after next. I mean, not this week, next week.
Fair enough. Oh, excellent. That's the premise. It sounds a bit like I don't know if you watched the Christmas Ghost Stories, the BBC show.
Oh yeah.
I think it was this year's was The Room in the Tower, adapted by Mark Gatiss. Gatiss.
Yes, it's very much that kind of stuff. Very, very much that kind of stuff. This was also filmed in West Cork, so therefore really beautiful countryside, beautiful surroundings. So if you could just go and see it for that alone, and you'd be rewarded for it. There's really some really good performances here. Not many people known. I'm actually quite surprised he managed to be in this and wanted to be in this, and I respect him even more because it's not a big movie and it's not backed by a big studio. This is being distributed by Black Bear in the UK, who are a very small outfit. And I guess when you get to a point where he's someone who is recognized for his performances in big productions, you also get to choose what you want to work on. And if a script like that lands on you on your desk, you have enough of a say on things to say, yeah, actually, I would like to do this now. I was really surprised about how much I liked it. So
it seems like a co-Irish, US and United Arab Emirates production, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Interestingly.
Oh, I didn't know about the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where that sort of. I mean, it's probably just the money, I guess. But yeah. So Image Nation Abu Dhabi. So yeah, I had no idea that was part of it. But yeah, if it helps make movies, why not? It's good.
Absolutely. He's another one of those actors that I look at his acting credits as you review and realise I've seen him in about a dozen films, but they're all no less than brilliant.
Well, he
The
only,
ones I've seen, I should say.
yeah, his breakout role was in, what did I say?
Oh, Severance.
Severance, yeah.
I've never seen that.
But he was also in the studio where he plays himself, really, so the series, the studio for
Oh, Studio 54.
not just studio.
Studio.
It's
Oh, yes.
Apple TV series. Really, 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 really good series and really funny. He plays himself in that. I think he plays himself. Or he plays someone who is like himself. Yeah, no, really good. Go see it. I didn't find it super scary, but there are elements in it that are very scary.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a good recommendation as you're heading to the box offices this weekend or next weekend, as it is. Thank you very much, Linda.
Okay.
Right. So, what's next? Next, of course, is the movie news.
Meet me in the foyer.
And in the movie news this week, it's the most exciting piece of news first, as Paddington is set to return to the cinema screen for a fourth adventure. Although rumour has it Hugh Bonneville won't be returning, which means Paddington has sadly been abandoned by both of his adoptive parents.
Oh, dear.
Sally Hawkins didn't return for part 3. Paddington in Peru when she was replaced by Emily Mortimer, I should say. But I'm still looking forward to that because I'm a complete sucker for Paddington, I've got to say.
I love Paddington. I don't care what anyone says. I even liked the third one, I thought it was all very good. Yeah.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it. It wasn't part 2, but then very few films are as good as Paddington 2, let's be honest.
Yeah, true.
We have a trailer for Ridley Scott's new sci-fi movie, The Dog Stars, which stars not a dog, but Jacob Elordi, and that's due in cinemas on the 28th of August.
Jasper. Oh. Hey, come here.
Is that your mom?
So what'd you do before the world ended?
I was kissing my wife, playing with my dog, wondering every day how I got so lucky.
You gotta have something to haunt you, right? Otherwise, you might get lonely.
We were born before the wind.
We have no idea what's out there.
What do you expect to find? Happy people everywhere. The world that was doesn't exist.
Also younger than the sun.
It's just us trying to hold on to what was. And everyone else.
This world fits you, Bang. Wake up, defend, survive. There's gotta be something better than this.
The dream.
Can we help them?
Yeah.
We have to stay alive.
I don't like the feeling of wondering whether or not you're gonna come back.
It takes a lot of faith to keep searching.
Amazon MGM have announced that they have no announcement on who will play the next Bond, and they are taking their time and respecting the legacy of the franchise, which seems a little odd as they've announced the director so far out. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, and I'm really hoping they go for an unknown. That's always my preferred Bond, not all these names of hugely famous people that people like to share around the internet. We have a final trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which hits cinemas on May 22nd for all the Star Wars fans out there.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor first.
We're protecting everything the rebellion fought for.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Hey! Strap in.
We need a professional.
Hang on.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
You good? I'll be right behind you. Go! Go!
Mandalorian, you will suffer. Then it will be his turn.
Monsters. The old protect the young. And then the young. Protect the old. It's time.
Are you scared? You should be.
Good job, baby.
This is the way.
And what else have we got? Paramount have announced that Tom Cruise is returning for Top Gun 3. It's in development at the moment, with the script well underway, apparently. And I've still not seen Top Gun 1 or Top Gun 2.
I really love those movies. I just find them such fun.
Mm.
And, I do like Tom Cruise.
Oh no, I like Mr. Cruise. That's absolutely, but never appealed to me, those films, for some reason. And this might sound like a Lord of the Rings adaptation, but The Elden Ring is a movie coming from Alex Garland that is in fact an adaptation of the Zelda game series. And that film's being produced by A24, but don't get too excited because it's not out until March 2028.
Oh, for God's sake. Don't tell us about it. I mean, I always say, for these production companies announcing this stuff, don't tell me about it until you've made it. I don't need to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then sometimes a film comes up and absolutely surprises you, as will come up in the not next, but the piece of news after, because the next piece of news is that Something Wicked This Way comes as we have a trailer for Witches Reunited movie Practical Magic 2. That stars Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, of course.
Yeah.
And
I just saw the trailer. Well, whatever it was. Was it trailer or was it just a bit of was it just a trailer? I just saw some of it this earlier. Yeah.
Excellent.
With Lee Pace.
And that'll be casting a spell over audiences from September 11th.
I'm sure you've heard of the Owens family. The ones from Massachusetts. The ones their neighbors whisper are witches.
You're the Owen sisters.
Yeah, everyone we love dies.
Oh, right.
A really horrible death. But I mean, it's not great for the Tinder bio.
I've waited such a long time for this.
She has.
You put the line in the coconut, you take them both up. Put the line in the coconut, you take them both up. Blood line in the coconut, you take them both up. Put the line in the coconut, then you feel better. Put the line in the coconut and take them both together. Put the line in the coconut, then you feel better. Put the line in the coconut, take them both up. Put the line in the coconut and call me in the morning.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's gonna be okay? Just like it was when we had to bury a corpse under a rose bush? That kind of fine or different? Different or same?
Put the line in the coconut, you take them both together. Put the lime in the coconut and you feel better.
And yes, part of this is the surprising film announcement that I knew was being considered but hadn't realised had already been made. But before that, news is that Stephen Capel Jr. is bringing us I Am Legend 2 with Will Smith returning and potentially being joined by Michael B. Jordan. That's just as well in the development stage currently. But Michael B. Jordan is also set to star in a second remake of the Thomas Crown Affair, where he will star alongside Adria Arjona, Lily Gladstone and Aubrey Plaza. And that's the one that snuck up on me because I knew it was in sort of the works, but they've filmed it. It's ready to go, and they were showing footage at the recent, was it Comic-Con, I think, in America?
No, CinemaCon.
CinemaCon, that's it, yes. Lastly of all, we have a trailer for a Hungry Hippo movie, but not another game adaptation, as this isn't Hungry Hippos the movie, although these hippos are very hungry for human flesh, and they will go on the rampage sometime in September.
Hey, come look at this.
What is?
That's the most dangerous animal, responsible for over 500 human deaths a year.
It's so cute.
The only cute hippo is a dead hippo.
Welcome to New Orleans.
We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
He has given us a discount to go see alligators in the bayou.
Oh, shh. Please, arms and legs inside the vehicle.
What the hell did that?
Something big.
Are we even supposed to be here right now?
We're off course.
You're safe as long as you stay out of the water.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
Hey, we're over here!
Get us out of here.
If anyone sees anything, point in the direction. Oh! Holy sh...
Run!
You know how it could have got here?
Easy, girl.
I'm so fucking scared.
Run! Hippos are vegetarian. He ain't killing you to eat you. He's killing you for fun.
Come on, don't be shy. I don't bite.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think it's very much in the style of what was that crocodile alligator one called? Bait, was it? The flooded town. Very similar to that, I get the feeling. So yeah, and that's all the news for this week.
Meet me in the foyer.
There we go. So it's review time again, and I want to be starting something. It's only human nature. Even though she's been working day and night, it's time for Linda to get off the wall, get on the floor, and deliver us a review of the new biopic of the King of Pop. But who is it? Well, it's Michael Jackson, of course, depicted by his nephew, Jaafar Jackson. And how did he moonwalk into that job? Nepotism, I guess. Anyway, Linda, jam on!
Just have all these songs in my head. Just gotta get them out.
You wanna stay alive, better do what you can. So beat it, just beat it.
I love you.
Don't stop till you get it. People, when the force goes home.
I'm just getting started.
I said you wanna be starting something.
There's no one like you.
Got to be starting something.
This is what I was put on earth to do.
And mother always told me.
I knew you were different the moment you were born. You let your light shine into the world. You are the greatest of all time.
Are you at all a fan of Michael Jackson or his music?
I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson's music.
Ah, thank God.
An enormous fan.
Thank God. I thought I was going to lose you on this. When I was little, I was probably the biggest Michael Jackson fan. I was younger, and I think Thriller was the first album I ever bought with my own money.
Nice.
And I went on to become obsessive about Michael Jackson, like know everything about it, get the magazines and cut them out, and have his poster in my room, and I knew every word to every song, all the way up. I think to I think like in my mid-teens, I kind of gave up on it, and I grew up. But those songs never leave your brain. They never. Once you like Michael Jackson, that's it. It's for life, and regardless of. And when I say like Michael Jackson, once you love his music and what he represents for, African Americans, really the first like Black pop star who was loved by both white and Black people, who was regarded as a superstar globally, whether be it in the East or the West and Middle East and Asia. He was truly the biggest star on the planet and still regarded as the biggest star on the planet. So I was actually wondering how this was going to work out. And I'm very wary of the things that went on in his life, in his later life, and the accusations of improper behavior with minors and all of that stuff, which made me think, why are we celebrating this person, or why is there a movie being made about it? It's hard to be a Michael Jackson fan and try and kind of defend the existence of this movie. However, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I didn't enjoy it, because I did. So this is directed by Antoine Fuqua. How do you say his name? Fuqua. Antoine Fuqua. Yeah, I know. I never know how to pronounce his name. So, the screenplay is by John Logan, and as you said, Michael himself is played by his nephew Jaafar Jackson, who it's his very first performance on screen. He is absolutely brilliant. He sounds like him. I have to actually mention that there are, apart from the like maybe sort of the humming here and there, all of the musical footage and the music that you hear is actually Michael Jackson's voice and not sang by anyone else. So it's all, and I think that's the right decision, because that would have been way too complicated to do otherwise. So the story takes us from sort of a cradle to stardom. We see him as an 8-year-old or 6-year-old or 10-year-old, because his dad asks him to lie about his age. From Jackson 5, when they get signed to Motown, and then to Off the Wall, which is his like groundbreaking album with that he recorded with was that Quincy Jones? I think it was.
That's right.
Yeah, Quincy Jones, and then all the way up to Thriller and the explosion of Thriller and the sort of the global stardom. And it's worth noting that the film was made with the evident blessing of the family altogether. They all get executive producer credit, all of them. I think apart from Paris Jackson, his daughter, they all get executive producer, and they all are mentioned individually. And also the story, really, it's undeniably sanitized. It doesn't broach any of the controversial stuff, unfortunately, and I did not expect it to anyway. When you have the family itself giving carte blanche for you to use all the music and all that, you know what you're going to get, and you're not going to get something that is overly critical. The only person that it's critical of is Joe Jackson, the father of the Jackson 5, Michael's dad, who was absolutely hideous to him when he was growing up. To hit him for not performing well. He used to sort of, have a say on everything Michael did. So, and he's played by Colman Domingo, who is incredible. Again, another brilliant. I mean, he can't do anything wrong. Colman Domingo, he is just incredible in this. But yeah, so the full story is the villain of the story is, again, as I say, Joe. But beyond that, the narrative is basically very selective of what it wants to show you. And it's almost like it's quite cliched and it's quite sort of, by the numbers. We've done this bit and now we've done this bit. There are a couple of really, really good performances as well on top of Colman Domingo. There's a performance by Miles Teller, who plays a legendary entertainment lawyer and manager John Branca. He's really well known. I think he worked with Beach Boys. Nia Long plays his mother Catherine, and then Kelly Durrell Jones is really, really, really good as his trusted confidant. He was his driver, bodyguard, Bill Bray, who's really well known by all of Michael Jackson's fandom, and even I, little old me, knew who he was. So, again, I would have liked to see a little bit more about the brothers' sort of point of view from this, and it was really one-sided, I have to say. That said, I mean, the dialogue often feels also very scripted. Obviously, it is very scripted and predictable, and it leans into lots of cliches. There are moments that should feel a lot more sort of urgent and raw than they are, but in the end, I mean, it does actually give a lot of sort of excuses. It does make the whole Michael Jackson story feel like he is the second coming of Jesus, which is a little bit annoying. And it ends, the actual story of the film ends in 1988 during the Bad World Tour date in London. Oh. And so therefore it manages to kind of like skip the whole controversies that started in the early 90s that we all know, and have the Jordan Chandler and all of all the nonsense that went on after that. And there were never going to broaches. There were rumors. I mean, apparently, if you believe people out there, apparently there was they did film some bits and around that, but the family just vetoed it. I would say fair enough, but I don't think it is fair enough, really. There are some really, like, the performances are incredible. Jaafar is just, I cannot believe how good he is at this. Yeah, as I say, like, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, all you're going to hear is like your memories of learning those songs and your memories of seeing him perform those songs and looking forward to the next video clip on MTV and sort of getting excited about it. But at the same time, I mean, should this movie even have been made at all? Also there are lots of, like, it does attempt to plant a few seeds explaining like the struggles with painkillers, where there is especially the pivotal moment where the Pepsi commercial set incident. I'm sure you know about that. This resulted in him getting third-degree burns on his scalp, and it feels like a starting point of his dependency on painkillers, and that almost, it goes a long way into excusing his behavior later, and also it is what basically the reason why he ended up dead when he in his 50s, and if he got all of that, and I mean, it's very honest with the way he wanted to represent himself. He was really full of his own importance. I mean, it shows him getting several nose jobs, and and they don't try and like sugarcoat that. And I think people like Colman Domingo or Mike Myers, who's also who puts in a very a short cameo. Tom Colman Domingo and Miles Teller wouldn't have been part of that movie if none of those particular things were broached. But still, it is very sanitized retelling of a story. It's a retelling of a story of what the family wanted to retell. Again, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't enjoy it. I did, and mostly because of the music, and mostly because I grew up listening to it. So if you are a hardcore Michael Jackson fan and you don't care about the rest, you should care. Then you're gonna love this. Otherwise, just don't bother.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I mean, I understand completely you saying should it have been made at all, but it feels like it was inevitable, really, wasn't it? Because we've had so many music biopics in the last few decades. Possibly, possibly Walk the Line was the first, but then there's been a series of black musicians biopics, possibly starting with Ray, and then there's been James Brown's Soul Man and Aretha Franklin's Respect, and so it felt inevitable this would happen. But as you say, because of the stories outside of the music, I can't even think how you would make an honest biopic of Michael Jackson because
Yeah, and that is the reason why it stopped where it stopped. Although, like, the ending gives the impression that there is going to be a second part. I don't think there will be a second part because that will, if there is a second part, that will have to include all of his, court, so all the things that he had to settle out of court with, all of the issues with the boys and the allegations and stuff. So I can't see his family agreeing to that. So I am going to say there isn't going to be a second movie. And I know loads of people are convinced there isn't going to be a second movie. And if there is, nobody's going to go and see, nobody with any respect to themselves is going to go and see it or review it.
Because the only way they would make a second one would be if they followed the narrative of the family when he did settle out of court and then sort of paraded as if he'd been vindicated. And it'll be this sort of whitewashed story of how he's been persecuted and blah 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 blah, and how he was persecuted by I forget his name now, the BBC journalist who stitched him up.
Well,
all that stuff.
I mean, he's not all clean himself either.
Oh no, he's been absolutely cancelled, hasn't he? Quite rightly, but yeah, no, I mean, as with you, a huge Michael Jackson fan, and adored his music, and I think people do slightly forget now how big he was because of the legacy later in his life. His Thriller album almost sold as much as Prince sold in his entire career. That's how big Michael Jackson was.
If you go anywhere in the world, in Timbuktu, and you show them a photo of Michael Jackson and say, "Who's this?" they're going to say, "That's Michael Jackson."
Yeah.
There isn't a musical star as big as him. Not even the Beatles are as popular as him. He's huge in the Middle East. I mean, as a result, I mean, his sister was once married to someone from the Middle East. His brother, Jermaine, who's the dad of Jaafar, his wife is Arab. They are huge in Middle East, huge in Asia. I mean, he was. And like, there isn't a single. I remember a time where you showed his face and everyone knew. And still to this, I mean, someone is like globally known when their imitation is like, as soon as from this first word, you know who it is. So,
absolutely, yes, no, an incredible performer, and I mean, the film sounds almost like Bohemian Rhapsody, if you know what I mean, because that obviously there isn't the same controversy around Freddie Mercury, but the film was slightly whitewashed because they didn't want to go into the more adult areas, and it all also that there were times when that felt a bit wiggy, but it relied on the music to carry it through and give it the emotional heft. So
I mean, it really helps that Jaafar really looks like his uncle. He really looks like him. That voice is like, when he's talking, the voice when he's talking is very much Michael. And I don't know what to say, really. I mean, as I said, the music for me is still there. It's still, the memories are still there, and the wanting to sort of hold on to those songs that mean something to you. But at the same time, I recognize that it's completely ridiculous that we are making a movie about this guy whose, reputation isn't great, really.
No, well, I will definitely watch this, and I will try and formulate my own opinions and how I feel about it once I've seen it. A difficult one, but enthralling, and I'm sure it's going to make a lot of money, regardless of the politics and the quality. So excellent. Thank you, Linda.
No worries.
Okay. Out for that one.
Meet me in the foyer.
It's time now for another of Jawa's classic movie moments, and this week we're looking at a film celebrating its 40th anniversary. As Linda might have correctly guessed, we're heading on a walkabout through a film from the outback down under that went into popular culture in the mid-80s. So let's take a look at a real bonza box office record breaker called Crocodile Dundee.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
Two beers, all right? One for me, one for me mate.
A legendary figure about to encounter a world more treacherous than any he has ever known.
G'day. Big Dundee from Australia. How are you? I'm fine, how are you? Just came down for a couple of days. Probably see you around. Bye.
This your first trip to New York?
First trip anywhere.
Well, we might just have to give you one for free.
Yeah. One what?
How are you finding New York?
A bit of a lunatic asylum. That's why I love it, because I fit right in.
G'day.
Hello.
Sorry.
G'day. Look.
My face! Stop it! Stop it!
When are you coming home, mate? Well, if you can manage, Wal, I'd like to stay a while. Wouldn't have anything to do with a certain lady writer, would it?
Paramount Pictures presents
Your towel, Senor Meek.
Paul Hogan.
Hey, my man, what's that? Where?
As Crocodile Dundee.
You got a light, buddy? Yeah, sure, kid. And your wallet.
Got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Crocodile Dundee.
So, Crocodile Dundee is a 1986 action comedy film set in the Australian outback and New York City. It stars Paul Hogan as the weathered Mick Dundee and American actress Linda Kozlowski as reporter Sue Charlton. It's inspired by the true-life exploits of Rod Ansell, and the film was made on a budget of under $10 million as a deliberate attempt to make a commercial Australian film that would appeal to a mainstream American audience, but turned into a worldwide phenomenon. So it was released on the 30th of April 1986 in Australia and the 26th of September in the US, and went on to gross $238 million on that budget of $8.8 million, which $238 million in 1986. I mean, that's got to be like $1 billion movie.
Half a billion, yeah.
Half a billion, you think? Yeah.
It's got to be $500 million,
Easily,
surely.
I would say. Easily, yeah. So it's the highest grossing film in Australia. It's the highest grossing Australian film worldwide. It's the second highest grossing film in the United States in 1986, and the highest grossing non-US film at the US box office ever. And of course was the second highest grossing film of that year worldwide, we've already mentioned the highest grossing film for 1986. Can you name it, Linda?
What year?
1986. We have already mentioned it.
Oh, today we mentioned it.
We mentioned it today. It's coming back for a third installment.
Oh, Top Gun.
Correct.
No. Yeah,
yes, Top Gun was the highest grossing film of 1986, and it only made 6 million more than Crocodile Dundee, in fact. Yes, 10 points to Linda there. Well done. There were actually two versions. There's an Australian version and an international version. And the international version, all they've done is a sort of train spotting thing with it, where they've replaced some of the Australian slang with more understandable dialect. And this was, of course, the first installment of a trilogy. It was followed by Crocodile Dundee 2 in 1988, which is okay. So it seems to be a theme in 80s movies where they're obsessed with cocaine and Colombian drug lords, and that's the plot of the second Crocodile Dundee. And then there's Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles from 2001, which is pretty awful, let's be honest. So, as I say, it stars Paul Hogan as Michael J. Crocodile Dundee, Mick. There's Lisa Kozlowski as Sue Charlton, John Melian as Walter Riley, David Culpill as Neville, Nev Bell, Mark Blum as Richard Mason, Richard Lombard as Sam Charlton, and Reginald Vell Johnson as Gus. So the idea actually came to Paul Hogan, the star. He came up with the idea for Crocodile Dundee because he wanted to make an Australian film that had popular appeal like American films, because he felt that Australia had never made one at that point. And he had this idea of what would happen if a Northern Territory bushman arrived in New York, just as Paul Hogan had done himself a few years before. He said, there's a lot about Dundee that we all think we're like, but we're not, because we live in Sydney. He's a mythical outback Australian who does exist in part, the frontiersman who walks through the bush, picking up snakes and throwing them aside, living off the land, who can ride horses and chop down trees, and has that simple, friendly, laid-back philosophy. It's like the image the Americans have of us, so why not give them one? We've always been desperately short of folk heroes in this country. Ned Kelly is pathetic, so are the Bush Rangers. And interestingly, Linda Kozlowski was imported to play the American reporter, despite Equity Australia objecting to them hiring a foreign actor, even though the part is for an American journalist. It's one of those weird things that happens in film production. And Hogan said when the film was finished, he expected it to make about $1 million, and it went on, as I say, to be an absolute global smash. Interestingly, it remains the single most viewed Christmas Day film or program in the UK. When it debuted on Christmas Day 1989 on BBC One, it attracted an audience of 21.8 million viewers.
Wow.
Of which I think I was probably one. I think that's probably when I first saw Crocodile Dundee too. It has dated. It can't be denied. We as with our discussion of Michael Jackson, have to face these things head on. It has some accusations against it of homophobia and transphobia, and there has been a new cut made in 2025. It was a 4K remaster, and they actually removed a scene in a bar where Crocodile Dundee sort of, I think assault might be too strong a word, but he gropes a transgender man, woman, and embarrasses her in front of the whole bar. I mean, it's not done viciously, it's done as a joke, but of course that has dated horribly in the past, the following 40 years. Hogan himself said it wasn't about being woke. He said it's better without those scenes. But it got a mixed response with the re-edits. Some people have accused it of screwing around with history. It's not a good idea to sort of censor historical artifacts. But it does, when I rewatched it on Saturday, it does sort of stop you in your tracks a bit when that scene occurs, and it isn't necessary in the film at all. It is just there as a bad taste joke. What also struck me is it's another one of these films from the 80s where it's completely fine to swear all the time, to make crude jokes, to reference cocaine, and it's basically a sort of a family film. It's as I mentioned in my Back to the Future review, it's really surprising what past is completely normal in the 80s.
I kind of like prefer those times, to be honest with you. It's that kind of like no nannying of teenagers, I feel like we lose a lot by assuming that people are not grown up enough to hear those words that their parents use in front of them anyway. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I entirely agree. I think there's no point pretending that these people or these jokes or these situations don't exist. You have to actually engage with reality and and sort of process it in your own way. So that's how I feel anyway. So as I say, it was an absolutely record smash. Really became a phenomena. Everyone knew and was talking about Crocodile Dundee in the 80s, and after that, it holds an 89% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Although Roger Ebert only gave it 2 out of 4 stars. He said, all the cliches are in the right places, most of the gags pay off, and there are moments of real amusement as the Australian cowboy wanders through Manhattan as a naive sightseer. The problem is that there's not one moment of chemistry between the two stars. It feels curiously machine-made, as if all the right ingredients were there, but they simply forgot to add the animal magnetism. But Paul Attanasio, I think he's called, of the Washington Post, came up with a great line where he said the film is a double fish out of water structure. First she's the fish, and then he's the fish. I mean, that is essentially the film. It's like a 2-act story where Sue travels to Australia to find stories for a newspaper. She hears this tale of this mythical bushman, and she goes out to find this bushman who's had his leg bitten off by a crocodile and then crawled miles through the bush to get home. And it turns out he does actually still have 2 legs, but he was bitten by a crocodile, and he did kill it and stuff it. And then, of course, she invites him back to New York, and you get the reverse, where he's walking around America saying hello to everyone, and I'll catch up with you later, mate, and all this sort of stuff. Really, really charming. For me, it's just got that warmth about it that a lot of 80s comedy films do have, where it's really hard to explain, but people are just sort of charming. It doesn't lean too much onto realism, sort of like magical realism. It's even in the way it's shot. It feels to me like 80s films use a lot more sort of yellow light, and now we use a lot more blue light. So you get a sort of cold, natural color in films now. And back then, in films like this and Superman and others like other films that make New York a character, like Coming to America or Ghostbusters, it just the people feel warm, and the colors are warm, the atmosphere's nice. You just want to be there. You want to be in that city with those people. But really, it's a tale of, as I say, fish out of water and people learning to sort of get out of their own way and grow. So it starts with Sue in a Sydney hotel room, and she's saying to her boss that she's going to go off and meet this mythical bushman. And she says to him, when he's concerned about her going into the outback, she says, "Don't worry about me. I'm a New Yorker," as if nothing's tougher than a New Yorker, which is that sort of classic image of New York. And then she meets him, and he's this sort of charming but misogynistic, sexist, bore, and she learns to sort of get over herself and her pretensions, and he learns to be slightly less misogynistic, although not massively. So it's sort of a tale of urban people versus country people. It's got a good strong female lead in it, which is a nice change really for the 80s, because there weren't that many. It's got a brilliant score by Peter Best. I can't see Australia without hearing the music from Crocodile Dundee. It's an absolutely stunning. I think it might be the start of my Australian obsession, which I think maybe the whole UK got during the 80s when you had stuff like Neighbours, Home and Away, Flying Doctors, kids shows like Pugwall. You'd had previously in the 70s you'd had films like Walkabout and Picnic at Hanging Rock, The Last Wave, a brilliant Peter Weir film, or Mad Max 2, or even Gallipoli, stunning Australian films which show the country that's this one of the most beautiful places in the world, and sort of haunting and mystical, but also almost like strange parts of the English countryside, full of odd characters and sort of really weird local culture. And that obsession carried on through the 90s, where you got films like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Strictly Ballroom, and Muriel's Wedding. So yeah, it's a fabulous film, really, really enchanting. As I say, it films New York beautifully as well as it films Australia. The characters are simple and sort of caricatured, but as I say, I like that. Interestingly, in a sort of technical way, it's got some wipes and transitions that you never see anymore. It's got some like you see in Star Wars. It's got sort of circular transitions and diagonal ones, and that's something that's completely died, I feel, in modern filmmaking. So yeah, as I say, it's a rom-com, sort of a meeting of opposites, but it doesn't really push the romance. They are these opposites, and then they have a moment in the Australian outback, and then they go to New York, but she's engaged to her boyfriend boss, and then he proposes to her, and Mick decides to leave, and then it concludes with I think one of the great rom-com contrivance scenes in cinema. I absolutely adore the conclusion. I think it's wonderful. I think also it's a sort of example, sorry, of the 80s, where there were new male heroes in cinema. They're more scruffy, a bit more world weary. They're not the perfect heroes of previous decades. I suppose they're kind of a hangover or a result, shall we say, of the 70s wave of cinema, where you got more realistic, more sweaty, dirty, honest characters. But we've moved away from the naturalism into the more magical realism again. But he's a blue collar hero, so he's got a lot in common with Axel Foley, actually, from Beverly Hills. Hence, they were planning to make an Axel Foley Crocodile Dundee crossover, but it never happened. So yeah, if you haven't seen Crocodile Dundee, don't be a drongo. Grab a cold one, settle down. This Arvo for a Crocodile Dundee classic. No worries, mate.
I wasn't a big fan, I must say.
No?
I guess it wasn't for me. I think I've watched it once when it came on TV. It's not really my thing. I've never liked just. I get it. I get the obsession, and it's very much. I think it's a very male movie as well, isn't it?
Yeah. That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Not a huge. Wasn't a huge fan. I have one more film to review, but I'm not going to do a massive review. Literally just like mention it in passing, just because I saw it and I think it's worth talking about. It's. This is being released by A24 in UK. A24 do not usually release their films themselves. They usually do it via a number of distributors in UK. Most of them come out through entertainment film. But this is actually released by them, and it's the latest film by David Lowery. David Lowery, I don't know if you're a fan of David Lowery's films, but he made films like oh God, I love the titles of his movies. I always absolutely love. There is one that he's written called "It Was Great," but I was ready to come home, which is absolutely brilliant. I love that. I really like "Ain't Them Bodies Saint," which is like a fabulous movie. Pit Stop. You've got Pete's Dragon, A Ghost Story, which is heartbreaking. Like just one of the best movies ever made. It's with
Casey
Casey
Affleck.
Affleck, yeah, Casey Affleck, and oh God, I can't remember. Rooney Mara, Kate Mara, who else was in the movie?
Oh, remember.
Rooney Mara, yeah, Rooney Mara.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I thought that was just heartbreaking movie, and it's just so innovative and so interesting. All of his films are really, really interesting. He also made a really odd little movie in 2018 called The Old Man and the Gun, which
Great film.
I loved that movie. I had a huge smile on my face all the way watching it. So if you've not seen The Old Man and the Gun starring Robert Redford, Casey Affleck, and Danny Glover, go and see it. Even Tom Waits get like an appearance in it. I just love that movie, and so you know what we're talking about. You know the kind of person he is, and he's in all of his movies. Again, he's another one who doesn't stick to one genre, and most of his films are non-genre movies, which is really good. Apart from actually The Old Man and the Gun, which is like a typical sort of caper, like crime caper.
And you've not even mentioned perhaps his most interesting film, The Green Knight.
Yeah. So his latest film, I said I wasn't going to go on, but I'm going on. I'm sorry. So his latest movie is called Mother Mary, and it's a psychological drama. It is a film that has mostly female characters, and the main characters are all women, and it more than passes the Bechdel test, which is a good thing. You at no point is a man mentioned in any way, shape, or form, and I have to, applaud David Lowery for doing that, because it's not easy to sort of sell something like this to a studio, although A24 are known for taking risks and all of that. So this stars Anne Hathaway.
I hadn't seen you in over 10 years. So, tell me about your new song.
You want to hear it?
Show me. But deal without your music.
Why?
Because I don't want to hear it. Okay, well, I think that's... There may only be one of us left standing when this is over.
I know.
Very, very good. Anne Hathaway is also starring in a couple more films this year, one of which is The Devil Wears Prada, which is coming out next week, I think. I'm seeing it tomorrow night at the premiere. And also stars Michaela Cole, Hunter Schafer is great, FKA Twigs, and the music is provided by FKA Twigs, Charlie XCX, Jack Antonoff, who's done a ton of work with Taylor. Oh my God, what's her name? Taylor Swift. Yeah, I can't believe I couldn't remember Taylor Swift's name. So and it's apparently he got the idea of making it after watching the Taylor Swift tour, a Taylor Swift tour. I can't remember which tour in particular, but he got the idea from that, and you can see it, and it's visually stunning. It's mostly a two-hander for a very long time, but like other characters come in and out. Anne Hathaway plays Mother Mary, just troubled pop star who comes in search of a designer called Sam Anselm, played by Michaela Cole. The two of them used to be friends in the past, but when they fell out, they really fell out and have not seen each other for years and years and years. What she wants from her old friend is a new outfit because she's relaunching her career, and she cannot be dressed by anyone else because nobody knows who she is. The themes here are like so it's sort of fame and idolatry. There are some religious, I mean, there is one motif throughout the film is her wearing this kind of like halo prop. They get more and more elaborate as we go with the film. It's so beautifully done, and I was actually really impressed by that bit. And it's about art and identity. It's about ambition and friendship. Also about possession, body possession. You know, again, another film that references The Exorcist. There's some really, really good performances. However, it's a little bit all over the place. I really didn't mind it. I really let myself. I just like visually, it is really striking, and I think that's what I really liked about it. And then the dialogue is a bit too heavy and a bit too knowing, but the performances are great, and I really liked all the costumes and the music, and I was thoroughly impressed by it. It is again all over the place. And it's, if you are expecting a sort of a normal narrative from David Lowery, this isn't the one. Maybe wait for his next movie. So, but yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it.
Sounds like it would make a good double bill with was it Vox Lux?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's
Did
funny,
you like Vox Lux? I really liked Vox Lux.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because he had issues with Green Knight, didn't he? That was a bit all over the place, and there were two cuts of that, weren't there? It's
Yeah, well, I mean, this isn't going to do any very well. It's got like 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think, and then I'm guessing it's going to go down a bit after the weekend because the broadsheets will be reviewing it, and the broadsheets have not been kind to it. But like, as I say, as someone who really adores his filmmaking, I felt at home, I understood what he was trying to do. I completely understand that it's not for everyone, but at the same time, I think we can't complain about people not taking risks and being sort of original. And then when someone is taking a risk and being original, we end up like with people sort of criticizing them. So, you know, you can't win really when you're a filmmaker.
We don't want films being made sort of generically, sort of cookie cutter style. Absolutely not. No.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely think I'll give that a go at some point. Wonderful. Well, thank you again for another bonus, Linda. You do spoil us. Right. So it's time for you to beat it. I hope you found this week's show to be a thriller, but don't stop till you get enough. Subscribe to our Patreon to listen again to this episode, catch up on all our previous shows in full extended director's cut form, and enjoy our special shows. I promise they're not bad. I'll be back next week to give you another part of me like the smooth criminal I am, and Linda will hopefully join me and endure more terrible puns and provide excellent reviews, of course. But until then, just remember the time and leave me alone. And now we're history. See you later,
I hated Leave Me Alone. I thought it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
I like the video for it. I love the video clip for it. But I did not like that song.
Oh, I quite like that one. It was stuff like Speed Demon and Liberian Girl I couldn't get on with at all. But
I also like there's something missing from it. They don't show USA for Africa, you know, the song We Are the World. And I think that's a big mistake, but I suppose because it wasn't just him, they would have been difficult to get everyone to sort of agree to it.
Oh, of course,
That was a bit sad, but I was really looking forward to listening to that. But yeah,
you just have to get your old 7-inch out again, Linda, and spin it on the turntable.
Maybe.
Wonderful stuff. Well, as we say, that's it for this week. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Subscribe now to help fans supporting food banks. Go to patreon.com/rockandrollfootball and look for your favourite club subscription pages and sign up with your favourite presenter. Rock and Roll Football. No adverts, no VAR, no limits.
Meet me in the foyer.